My name is Willa, and I'm going to be guiding you through a gentle yoga flow. So the props I recommend you using if you're practicing at home are a chair and a towel. If you don't have blocks or a yoga blanket, that's fine. So we're just going to start seated, so you can sit up on your towel. Get your hips a little higher than your heels. Just try to find something comfortable. Maybe cross your legs, or you can kneel. Keeping your hips higher than your heels can help you to start tilting your pelvis forward, which can help you to sit up nice and tall. With your hands, you can have palms down on your thighs if you're feeling like you need a little bit more grounding, or palms up if you feel like you want to cultivate a more receptive attitude to draw more energy in. We're just finding your seat. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. Just take these opening moments to make that mental shift. So setting aside all that stuff you've got going on, all your lists, and putting all that attention into your body. Notice your sits bones, what you're sitting on, feeling yourself feeling grounded, some heaviness and rootedness there. And then taking that awareness slowly up through your center, through the crown of your head. And the first challenge is just to see how much you can soften and relax while still sitting up nice and tall. Softening behind your eyes, your jaw, your neck. Try to relax your shoulders and try to let yourself have a belly as you breathe. And with all that, starting to notice what your breath is like. And just seeing if you can follow a few of your own breaths, drawing air in through your nose, maybe breathing out through your nose, or breathing out through your mouth. And please bring your palms together in front of your heart. If you'd like, you can take a moment to set an intention for your practice or a dedication. And just generally knowing that I will be offering suggestions, but always do what is right for your body and don't do anything that hurts. You can always rest when you need to rest. Then inhale and gently lift your chin. Exhale, bow your head. You can release your hands, open your eyes, and we're going to make our way to hands and knees. If you would like a little bit more padding, you can open up your towel and slide your towel under your knees. Never power through the knees. Just get yourself lined up, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, and grounding. So pressing down into your mat, you can claw your fingertips, press the tops of your feet down, and we'll start to move. So inhale, you can lift your tailbone, soften your belly, lift your chest. Exhaling, tuck your tailbone, draw your guts up towards your spine. Just keep moving and breathing. You can go as slow as you want to. Just continuing to establish that connection to your own breath. Just going to add on to this. So, after your next cat back, take your knees a little wider, shift your hips back towards your heels, lower down towards a child's pose. And then pull with your forearms, lift your tailbone, lift your chest, rising up into your cow. And just keep moving like that. And no rush. Next time you're back in your child's pose, we will stay there. Have your toes together, your knees out. Just trying to notice as much as you can any sensations. Taking good breaths into your whole rib cage, even into the back of your heart. Seeing if there are any places you can soften. You can always come to child's pose if you need a break. Your next inhalation, draw yourself back up onto hands and knees. And then take your left toes back. You can kind of rock forward and back, getting to your calf or maybe the bottoms of your feet, right? So find your new base. So ground, and then take your right arm alongside your ear. See about lifting your left leg about hip height. Pressing down. Use your core, and then we'll move. So be inhaling here. Exhale, draw your elbow towards your knee, rounding. Inhale, extend. Let's do that a few more times. Good place to start to play with your balance. So the last one. And make your way back to hands and knees. We'll do your other side. So just take your right toes back. You're gonna rock forward and back. Give yourself a little calf stretch. So then reground and take your left arm alongside your ear. See about lifting that right leg about hip height. And we'll move. So inhaling, exhale, elbow towards your knee. A couple more times. And last one. Go back to hands and knees. You can move your towel out from under your knees. Take your knees wider than your hips. Shift your sits bones back towards your heels. Lower back down to your child's pose. Enjoy one more big breath here. And make your way onto your belly on your mat. So untuck your toes and bring your hands under your shoulders, hugging your elbows in close to your body. So root down through your pubic bone, press down to the tops of the feet. And roll your shoulders back, lifting your chest. So little to no weight in your hands. You can kind of pull, maybe reaching the crown of your head forward for your cobra. Exhale, lower down. We'll let that go. So re-engage, root down through your pubic bone, tops of the feet. Lift your chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, lower down. So one last cobra. Re-engage at the bottom. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Keep breathing. And gently lower down. And tuck your toes under and press yourself up. And back to hands and knees. And then we'll come up. So tuck your toes under. You can turn your fingers out a bit to help with this. So press down and lift your hips up and back. Coming into a down dog. So take up lots of space. Walk your feet back. So you want your feet at least hip-width distance apart, maybe even as wide as the edges of your mat. You can have a little bend to your knees, lift your tailbone. Think about spinning your inner elbows forward, shifting your chest back towards your legs. Lift through your shoulders, and you can be still and breathe in your down dog. Or if you want some movement, you can slowly pedal out your feet. And if you want to skip down dog, you can make your way into a forward fold. And slowly walk your feet to your hands, taking as many steps as you need to get there. So when you're forward fold, you can find your feet about hip width distance apart, parallel. Knees can be bent. So feeling into your feet. Try to let your whole upper body go. Let your torso hang, be heavy. Let your head go. You could grab opposite elbow and sway, bob, side to side. You can release your elbows and then just heel toe your feet apart. So at least as wide as the edges of your mat, maybe wider. Turn your toes out, so ground through all four corners of both feet. You can bring your palms together. Start to bend your knees, lift your chest, make your way up into a high squat. So here's a good place to try to find how much do you soften and release into it, and how much do you stay engaged, planting through your feet. You're trying to stay relaxed through your shoulders, relax through your face, and then slowly make your way back to your forward fold. So it's super slow. You turn your toes out and slowly make your way back into your high squat. One more big breath here. Let it out. And slowly make your way back to your forward folds. Well, last one. And slowly make your way back to your high squat. And take your time to make your way back into your forward fold. So finding your feet about hip width distance parallel. Ground into your feet, so press down, inhale your way halfway position. So you can press down through your big toes, draw your belly button towards your spine, and fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back, and walk your hands up your thighs, so just setting up your chair pose. And take your arms out and up. Try to find that equal weight distribution in the feet. You can think about trying to get your torso parallel with your shins, and we'll do a little flow. So inhaling here, exhale, sweep your right arm back. Inhale, press down, dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, sink back into your chair pose. Big breath. Exhale, sweep your left hand back. Try and keep your hips lower than your shoulders. And make your way back. Chair pose. Press down to dive all the way up to standing. So keep your arms over your head and your feet. Hip width parallel. Some sponginess in your knees, so don't lock out in your joints. And slowly rise up on the balls of your feet. So just doing tiptoe lifts. And try to do that a few times. Breathing. I have no hands. And notice if your toes get grabby. Next time your heels are down, you can stay there. Grab a hold of your left wrist. So reach up, get some length, and then shift over towards the right. You can let your hips go the opposite way. Relax your head. Try to keep pressing down through both feet. And only going as far as you can still breathe. If you can't breathe anymore, come out a little bit. And press down to rise up. Switch wrists, reach up, get some length, and shift over towards the left. Let your hips go the other way for a standing side bend. You You think about squaring your shoulders and hips forward. Breathing into any space you can find. And press down to lift up. You can relax your arms down at your sides. And we're going to do a thing. So you can bring your hands to your hips. And we'll be gradual about this balance thing. So start by coming onto your right toes. So establishing your standing foot, right? Grounding down through your big toe, pinky toe, heel. Some core engagement. Find your gaze point. Really plant through that standing foot. And then see about lifting your knee about hip height. Really plant. Really commit. Try to stay right on top of yourself. Try not to water ski back. And we'll try to kick out a few times. Kick out. And bend your knee. And hold a couple more times. So kick it out. And last time. This time, get a good bend to your standing knee. Slowly shoot your right foot behind you, landing in a lunge. You can bring your hands down to the mat, framing that front foot. You can stay up here in a runner's lunge or lower your back knee down. It might be nice to pad your back knee with your towel. So you can stay low here, or perhaps coming up, bringing your hands to your thigh. And your preference with your back foot, so you can have your toes untucked or tucked, but pressing down through your front foot, using your low belly to protect your low back, and breathing. Bring your hands down either side of that front foot. Tuck your back toes to lift that back leg. You can come onto fingertips or fists, and then open up towards the left for a twist. Stand high up on the ball of that back foot. Option to take that top hand to your sacrum. And then always just doing whatever feels good on your neck. So maybe that's looking forward, or up, or down. And square back off to the floor. So heel toe your front foot out towards the outer edge of your mat to create a wider base. We'll press down through your front foot so you can unweight your hands, slowly rise up. And then just bring your hands to your hips for your high crescent. And let your back knee bend. Get your left knee tracking with your ankle, knee tracking with your toes. Think about squaring your hips and shoulders forward, and you can keep your hands on your hips so you can feel what's going on, or if you want a little more of a challenge, you can interlace your hands behind your head. Kind of press your head into your hands for a CEO hands. And go ahead, take your right fingertips forward, the left fingertips back for a revolved crescent. Big breath, and cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Shift your weight forward, stick your feet side by side. Coming into a forward fold. Grounding into your feet. Lift yourself halfway. So try and get that foot to butt connection. And fold forward. Bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back. Walk your hands up your thighs, so setting up your chair pose. And sweep your hands out and up. You can always modify by bringing your hands to your heart. Exhale to press down and dive all the way into standing. You can relax your arms down at your sides. Bring your hands to your hips. And then onto your other side. So come on to your left toes. Right? So start to root down through your right big toe, pinky toe, heel. That travel up. Core, find your gaze point. And then see about lifting your left knee hip height. Really plant through your standing leg. Just finding your balance. And I'll try to kick out a few times. Last time. Get a good bend to your standing leg, knee, and then slowly shoot that leg behind you. Gently land for a lunge. You can bring your hands down to either side of that front foot. And you can stay up in a more of a runner's lunge or lower your knee to your towel. So you can stay low if that felt good, or if you wanted to bring your hands to your thigh. Keep pressing down through your front foot. Using your low belly to protect your low back. One more inhale. Exhale and bring your hands down either side of that front foot. Maybe come into fingertips or fists. Tuck your back toes to lift that back knee up. And then open up towards the right. Option to take that top hand to your sacrum. And square back off to the floor. So heel toe your front foot over towards the right to create that wider base for yourself. Press down into your right foot to slowly rise up, finding your high crescent lunge. So bring your hands to your hips to start. Okay. Square hips and shoulders, hip headlights towards the front of the room. So you can stay here with your hands on your hips and breathe, or interlace your hands behind your head for some armpit exposure. And see about taking your left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. Try to let your shoulders relax down away from your ears for your revolved crescent. Big inhale, big exhale. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. And shift your weight forward, step your feet side by side, coming into a forward fold. And ground into your feet, lift yourself halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Ground into your feet, reverse swan dive. So come up through your flat back, all the way to standing, and relax your arms at your sides. You're going to find a wide-legged stance. Just take your feet wide. Turn your toes out. And get a good bend to your knees. So knees trying to track with your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. And maybe just glide side by side, side to side for a moment. Just feeling out what that's like. And then finding the middle. Try to find a neutral spine. So slight lift of your tailbone, slight lift of your chest. We'll find goddess. So bend elbows, drawing backs of your hands back. And we'll flow here. So inhaling, exhaling, inhale, press down, open up, giant starfish. Exhale, bending goddess. A couple more times. Inhaling, exhale. One more. Bring your hands to your thighs, drop your butt behind you. We'll come down from the squat. You can bring your hands to the floor, or you could also use your chair if you want to get up a little higher. But parallel out the inner edges of your feet. You press your feet apart, and you just want your wrists under your shoulders. So if you wanted to be up higher, you could have your hands on the chair seats. Press your feet apart, keep your legs engaged. Try to find that neutral spine. So slight lift of the tailbone, and then like someone's poking you in the solar plexus. And a couple options while we're here. You can stay here, or it might feel good to walk your hands back between your feet and let your spine round, let your head go. Or if you wanted some movement, you could do some skandasana, turn your toes out, slowly move from side to side. So going one way and then flexing the toes that you're moving away from. Going slow. You could also make it more of a core activity. Take your arms up like a big yoga bird. And then we'll come back to that wide-legged stretch. So hands under your shoulders, parallel feet. And turn your toes out, bring your hands to your thighs, and come up. Bring your hands to your hips. And then turn your left toes out, bringing your right toes in a bit. So they're going out to the side, but also a little bit forward, so at an angle. Then get a good bend to that front knee. So knee tracking with your front middle toes. If it's going way past your ankle, you can probably take a longer stance. And cool thing, when you do that, get your knee tracking with your toes, it should bring your back hip around with it a bit. So you can stay here for your warrior two. Press your feet apart. With your hands on your hips, or you can lift your arms up. Just letting your breath fill the shape. One more breath. And flip your palms up, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. So your right hand can come to your back thigh, reaching your left hand up. Option to take this top hand thumb to your sternum. And bring your left hand to your inner knee thigh to help guide it open. This top hand, you could keep it right hand on your hip. So keep your knee tracking with your toes. Keep letting that top hip roll down, and then keep opening your chest this way. You could also take your right hand to your thigh to really help establish that straight line from your leg all the way up to your torso, your side angle. So little to no weight in this left hand. If you wanted to get the arm involved, you could take your right arm alongside your ear, internally rotate. So in your elbow towards your face, really reaching your fingertips away from the outer edge of your back foot. And press down, keeping your base the same, just level out with your arms. Coming back into your warrior two. Exhaling, slowly press down into your front foot. Move towards straightening your front leg. Keeping a micro bend, right? Never lock out your joints. Maybe shorten your stance. And then, so you've got level hips. Then pop your back hip up, or tuck your front hip under. Reach forward and tilt with the arms into triangle. So very similar shape. Keep letting that top hip roll down. Keep opening up with your chest. Keep lifting through your fingers. You can think about sliding your top shoulder towards your top hip to help you keep that straight spine. Option to take your top hand to your top hip, or reach back behind you for your front hip crease. Always doing what feels good on your neck. So maybe look down or up. Really press your feet apart. Use your core. It's your lift of the pelvic floor muscles. And rebend that front knee. Reverse your warrior. And press down and move towards straightening your front leg. So pivot once. Turn your toes out. Get a good bend to your knees. So coming back into your goddess. This time we will do some eagle arms. So finding right arm over left. And clap. Lifting your elbows up. Draw your shoulders down. Another way to do this, right, if that's not working for you, is to grab for your shoulders. This is doing the same thing, spreading your shoulder blades apart. Trying to find your gaze point, your drishti. And exhale, press down, open up, giant starfish, and then we'll switch the arms. So rebend, left arm on top, and clap, and lift your elbows up, drag your shoulders down. Feeling into all four corners of both feet. And seeing where in this shape do you need to be firm and solid and grounded, and where can you find some lightness. Trying to keep tension out of your neck and jaw. Press down. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes forward. Left toes come around a bit. So get a good bend to your right knee. So front heel lined up with your back arch. Keep your right knee tracking with your toes. Hip comes around. All right, setting up your warrior two. Keep your hands on your hips. If you want, press your feet apart. Or see about lifting your arms. Reaching your fingertips away from each other. And then try to relax your shoulders. So other fun things you can do in Warrior 2 is to play with, so it's like where is shoulders over hips? You can exaggerate. It's like reach forward and reach back. And be like, where the heck is the middle, right? Or with the shoulder thing, it's like how do you engage your arms but relax your shoulders? Shrug your shoulders into your ears, be like, oh wow, that's awful. And relax your shoulders away from your ears. Flip your palms up, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. So that left hand can come to your thigh. Grounding into your feet, option to take your right hand thumb to your sternum. Exhale, bring your right hand to your inner knee thigh. So this top hand, you can keep it on your back thigh to help really establish that straight line up your leg, up your torso. Top hips rolling down, chest rolling open. You can hand on the hip, or maybe take your left arm alongside your ear and internally rotating. Making sure that the arches of your feet have not collapsed and they're still engaged. Keeping your base the same. Lift your chest, coming back into your Warrior 2. And press down to move towards straightening your front leg. You can shorten your stance if you'd like to. It feels a little too big. I always do. So finding you've got level hips, right, level. And then we'll do that hip angle adjustment thing. So pop your back hip up, tuck your front hip under, right, establishing that really good angle. And then reach forward and tilt with the arms. Moving towards stacking your shoulders. And to avoid the tendency to round down, think about sliding your top shoulder towards your top hip. Maybe just take that top hand to your hip. And rebend your front knee, reverse your warrior. One more big breath. And let it out. Relax your hand down. And lift your back heel. So shift your weight forward to step your feet side by side. Oh, I know. We'll do a chair thing. We'll do it from this perspective. So come into your chair and bend your knees, slide your sits bones down and back. Right? Sweep your arms out and up. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Big breath and twist towards the right. So drop your left shoulder down. You can let your left knee come forward. So whenever we twist, try and twist around a straight spine. So to help establish that, you could take your gaze in between your feet. Try and keep your hips lower than your shoulders. And press down to dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Lengthen, and we'll twist towards the left. So drop your right shoulder down, let your left hip draw back, right knee piston forward, thumbs at your sternum. Maybe take your gaze in between your feet. And then press down to rise up. So this is the part, again, where we may use the chair. Might be nice. So just take a step back with your left foot, and then heel toe your front foot over towards the side so you have enough space so that you can square your hips forward. So press your feet apart, right? Bring your hands to your hips. You can imagine your pelvis is a bowl. So press your feet apart, legs engaged, core, puffy chest, and then just slowly spill your pelvis forward. So slowly tilt your pelvis forward, trying to not lose any of that engagement. You can come in and out a couple times and breathe. Super important. Try and keep your hips square as you're coming in and out. It's interesting, once you start to feel it, you're like, wow, your pelvis moves all over the place. And then we will add on. So spill your pelvis forward. Oh, and I forgot to mention, only going as far as you can keep your back straight and feel your spine in the groove. You've gone too far, you can feel your processes poke out. But anyway, we're going to go there anyway. So coming into your flat back spot, right? Pelvis forward, flat back. You can stay here. If you want a little more chest opening, you can grab opposite elbow. Using your core to protect your low back, or you can come down further. So either bringing your hands to your chair, right? So you've got some height and rounding through your spine, drop your head. Or if you wanted to come down lower, maybe bringing your hands to your shin or the floor. The chair's kind of cool. Think about drawing your right hip under. And to come out, bring your hands to your hips and slowly lift yourself up. Oh, cool. Let's use the chair again. So let's try this. We're going to add on again. So from here, right, pelvic bowl up. Slowly spill your pelvis forward. And then we're going to add on. So drop your left hip down, or you think about closing your hip. Might not be a big movement. That's okay. So left hip down. Right hand to your sacrum. Left hand, you could bring it to your chair. Right? For your twisted triangle. That's an option. It might be nice to have a prop. Or you could bring your left hand to your outer thigh. Keep lifting through your chest. I'm liking the chair though. Making sure that whatever you're feeling is sensation and not pain. And to come out, just bring your hands to your hips, square back up. And we will do the other side. So shift your weight forward, step your feet side by side. And then take a step back with your right foot. You can always adjust when you get there if it's not long enough, right? And then just heel toe your front foot over towards the outer edge of your mat so that you have enough space so you can square your hips forward. Press your feet apart, keeping a micro bend in your knee. And then we'll do that flow thing. So level hips, right? Puffy chest, press your feet apart, core. And slowly spill your pelvis forward. Right? Only going as far as you keep your back straight. And keeping that connection to your feet. And try and not hold your breath. And just come in and out. Like one more time. It's hard to go slow. All right, now we'll start to add on. So if you want to use your chair, you can put your chair out in front of you. So start to spill your pelvis forward, right? Square hips. You can stay here. Maybe do that grab opposite elbow thing to open your chest. Or you can bring your hands to your chair, around through your spine, drop your head, tuck your left hip under. Or if you wanted to go deeper, you could bring your hands to your leg, maybe hands to the floor. Just make it work for you. And to come out, bring your hands to your hips and then slowly lift your chest. All right, we'll add onto it. So up here, and then just slowly spill your pelvis forward. So coming into your flat back place. It's a tongue twister, but I did it. And then drop your right hip down, right? So square, right hip down. Might not be a big movement. Left hand to your sacrum for some stability. Right hand, you can take it to your chair for your twisted triangle. And keep lifting through your chest. You're not rounding over. Right? Keep your arches of your feet engaged. So hand on the chair might be nice. Right? Or if you wanted more twisting, I guess, because that's what that is, right? So here's a good place if you want more twisting. Hand to your outer thigh. This feels like a good place. All right. And bring your hands to your hips, square back off, and just make your way to standing. Move your chair out of the way. We'll do some tree. So whenever I do balance poses, I like to start by turning my toes out slightly. That can help because when you start to fall over, at least for me, my toes start to turn in. You'll bend to your knees and then take your left foot somewhere below or above your knee. You could even have your toes on the floor. I think I'm actually going to do that. That counts. Totally counts. So really root down through your big toe, pinky toe, heel, right? Get that plant. You can think heavy base, lightness in your upper body. You can keep your hands low if you want to, right? Just working on that. Pressing your foot into your leg into your foot. Or you can line up all of your fingers and then bring your thumbs to your sternum. Just imagine hugging everything in towards the midline, lifting to the crown of your head. Enjoy one more big breath here. Relax your arms. Come back to both feet on the floor, and then we'll do your other side. So, we'll bend to your knees, ready for anything. Take your right foot somewhere below or above your knee. So I'll do this side differently. So bringing it to your inner shin, calf area. So press your foot into your leg into your foot, lift your chest. Oh, and a tendency with posture, right, is we all do that. It's like sink into your hip. So try to not do that with your standing leg. Try to lift out of your hip. And with your hands, you could do palms in front of your heart. It might be fun to do grab opposite elbow behind your back. And you find too in balance poses, your body is always trying to find your balance. So that's okay. All that little movement, your stabilizer muscles getting stronger. So important not to lock out your knee, the micro bend. You can relax your hands and set your foot down. You go ahead and make your way towards the front of your mat. Get a little bend to your knees. Make our way down to the floor. Big breath, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, slowly bow forward. So lift your tailbone and let your spine round. Grounding into your feet. Inhale halfway. You can press your hands into your legs. And fold forward. Plant your hands and step back into plank. You can always modify plank by lowering your knees, or you could come onto forearms, right? So big breath in your plank. Exhale, shift back to your down dog. So lift to the tailbone, lift through your shoulders, shifting your chest back towards your legs, and roll forward to your plank. Pressing the floor away, press to the backs of your knees, and then keeping your elbows in close to your body, slowly lower all the way to your mat. At the bottom, untuck your toes, root down through your pubic bone, tops of the feet, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, coming into your cobra. Exhale, lower down. And tuck your toes under and press yourself up and back to your child's pose. And see if you can follow 2 more breaths here. And bring your hands under your shoulders and just make your way to a seat. So feet out front, find your sits bones, and then just cross your left foot over your right leg. And you can take your right hand to your outer left thigh, left arm, left and right so hard. Hand behind you, maybe coming onto fingertips or fists. Right, so just try to sit up tall, try to relax your shoulders. And maybe close your eyes so you're not leading this twist with your head and neck. Just keep coming back to any information, right? Any sensory information. You can notice your base, Notice your breathing. Notice if there are any places that you don't need to be holding on to keep you here. And slowly unwind yourself. And do your other side. So cross your right foot over. And grab your outer thigh. Take your right hand behind you to help you sit up nice and tall. Noticing this side might be different than your first side. It's interesting how that happens in the body. And make your way out. So scoot towards the front of your mat so you have a lot of mat behind you, right? So find your sits bones, find your knee pits, and think back bend to counteract the slumping tendency. You can start to lean back to where your core will engage. You can stay here and breathe. That's a place. Or lift one leg at a time, making sure you don't lose any of that, right? Don't lose your sits bones, don't lose your back bend. Maybe try to lift both legs. Maybe let go with your hands. See if you can hold the boat shape. This is a good yoga pose for jokes. Of course, I don't have one right now. You can set your toes down and then do slump. So tuck your tailbone, and we'll just slow roll down. Eventually you need to let go. Just let go, making your way onto your back. And relax your arms at your sides. Find your feet about hip width distance. And we'll set up for bridge. So just press down to lift your hips up. You can stay here or interlace your hands behind your back and roll each shoulder under, lifting your chin slightly. So whatever you're doing, make sure you're lifting your chin so you've got some space under the back of your neck, and try to not squeeze your butt. You can use other stuff to keep you here. You can release your hands and lower your hips down to the mat and do some windshield wipers. So take your feet as wide as the edges of your mat. You could, so relax your arms at your sides, or you could also cactus them. So bend elbows, back of your hands on the floor. And then just moving with your breath. So you could exhale, knees fall to one side. Pause. Inhale, draw your knees up. Pause. Exhale, let your knees fall towards the left. You can get your head and neck involved, taking your gaze the opposite direction. Just keep moving and breathing on your own. And take a moment to even yourself out. And go ahead, draw your right knee in towards your chest and stretch out your left leg. Maybe give your feet some attention, rolling out your ankles, or flex and point your toes. And switch legs. So hug your other knee in towards your chest, staying grounded through all those points of contact with the floor. And last thing, so go ahead, roll under your side. Find your towel. This is great. So open up your towel or a blanket and then roll it. May or may not want this, but it's nice to have options. So we're going to do legs up the wall. This is the bomb. So basically, you want your towel handy and get your butt as close to the wall as you can. So butt touching the wall, right? And walk your feet up. Just trying to get as close as you can. And then the rolled blanket might be nice to have under your neck as some support. If you don't like that, you also do not have to use it, right? And here too, so many options. You can relax your arms at your sides. Maybe bring a hand to your belly and chest, or you could do that cactus arm thing, bent elbows. But whatever you're doing, just trying to take those good Buddha belly breaths. So letting your whole belly and chest expand with every inhale. And trying to release as much as you can with every exhale. You can stay here for as long as you like, really. A few minutes, 5 minutes. Then when you're ready to come out, just bend your knees and roll to your side to come out safely. And thank you for yogaing with me.